WFUZ-TV, Coastal Alabama, Northwest Florida, the People's Voice. Hello, Internet. I'm Thomas Jenkins with WFUZ-TV. Blair Castro with me in the studio. Today we're talking about the importance of municipal elections and how you can get in on the action and apply for candidacy yourself.
I had a candidate for Summerdale's mayor reach out to me, and he gave me a lot of information to mull over. In particular, the current mayor of Summerdale, which he brought to my attention, has been there in office for 33 years. To me, that is absolutely insane. Why is there no term limit for mayor within these smaller towns and municipalities in Baldwin County? Why is that not a thing? Why would someone be allowed to stay mayor for 33 years? To me, that seems extreme. I'm 37 years old. They've literally been mayor my entire life, pretty much. 33 years ago, George Bush Sr. was the president, and this guy was mayor. And today, he's still the mayor. That kind of blows my mind.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about Summerdale and the police department and the mayor there and how there's such a high turnover rate.
Yes, this absolutely blew my mind when I found this out. So the Summerdale Police Department is basically run by the mayor. They do have a chief of police, but from what I understand, the chief doesn't have as much influence as the mayor does. And the mayor is from one of the oldest families in town, which a lot of people are scared to talk about, to criticize, because they kind of run the whole town. And not just the town, they're deeply ingrained within Baldwin County as a whole. They have family members in city council seats and county seats and mayoral seats. Like, they run this town and have for hundreds of years. So I understand the fear behind speaking out like that, but I wish people would be less afraid, because how is it ever going to change unless people have the courage to stand up and fight for that? So going back to the police department, the police there's actually never been a police officer who's retired from that city police force. They never reach retirement. They're often pushing termination or looking for reasons to terminate their officers to get them out within a 2-year span. That's the average span of a police officer in Summerdale for the city police, which is very short. Obviously, that is wild to me, and I wonder why that is. Why exactly does he want the police officers to leave?
As a campaign strategist, what would be your strategy in helping an incoming candidate who's maybe newer to politics and not as experienced and not as deeply rooted in the local politics and social strata as the people who have been here for a long time? What would be your strategy to unseat them and put somebody new in that could get something done?
Right. So that is exactly what I want to do. And what my whole mission is as a person really is getting rid of these good old boys and corrupt systems that have been in place for decades and getting new people in. A lot of people are scared. I'm a novice. I don't have any experience in politics. Well, great. That actually makes you a better candidate in my mind, because you're not tainted by all of the favors and the quid pro quos that are going on in these backroom deals and through government contract via forever else. A novice is the perfect person to run. So I wish more people can't afford a campaign manager afraid. And if you are running, don't think I can't afford a campaign manager. I don't need a campaign manager. I have to do this all myself. Like, the campaign manager will help you with fundraising. They will help pay for their own bill for the most part if they're any good. They will help you get all the pieces in place so that you can afford the things you need. You are going to need signs. You are going to need mailers. You are going to need, most importantly, especially in small towns, Summerdale, Robertsdale, Loxley, like these little Alberta, Lillian, like small towns in Baldwin County, which are some of the most difficult places to get change because they are so small. They have a population of under 1,000. Say half of those are adults who are registered voters who are actually active. That's being generous. It's probably not even half, but that's 400 or 500 people. So that's all you need to get number wise to flip a seat. And that's actually not hard. If you have 3 months of time and you meet 400 or 500 people and convince them to vote for you, then you're doing well. So I think of it by the numbers, break it down into small bite-sized pieces. Don't think I have to hit 500 houses and meet 500 voters. You're really hit 2 voter households. You have spouses, you have parent, kid, whatever. You're really hitting maybe 250 to 300 houses. If I'm being generous, again, it's probably not even that much. And then you're convincing those people to go vote for you. So, do 10 houses a day. Take it slowly. Start ahead of time and follow up with a mailer, follow up with emails, follow up on social media, and use the internet to your advantage. We're living in a time now where the internet is your greatest asset and your greatest tool. You can reach exactly those kind of people if you know the right programming. If you have the data, you upload it to Facebook or social media and you target them specifically, which you can do with the right manager, the right agency at the helm.
I think you were telling me yesterday it's like the Wild West as far as just applying for candidacy and getting your name out there into the running.
Yes, and that's really dangerous because what if there is a candidate who is not a legitimate candidate, who's just there to upset the ballot, or who's there for their own, you vet them off? There's no way, or they're just there to see what can happen or mess things up. There's no way to vet them off. There's no way to be like, well, you don't qualify because there's no petition process to get on the ballot. It's lacking so much in this county that I haven't seen anywhere else. And I think that's all across the state of Alabama, actually, with these municipal races, not the county races.
There's too much income being generated in this area to not have a more careful vetting process of candidacy for people who are making decisions.
Yes, there's no way to say this candidate has been convicted of a felony that we shouldn't have them as mayor. Like, people can point it out, but there's no law or regulation on that. The only thing is you have to report your income and your funds raised once you raise $1,000. Other than that, I don't really see what the qualifying factors are, but maybe maybe I'm missing it because there's literally, you have to search the internet high and low and find these other websites where the links don't work. That's what happened with Gulf Shores. They were like, oh, the links don't work. You got to look at you got to look at Alabama League of Municipalities because the city doesn't have anything there. We just go by them. So it is like bouncing from one location to another just to find basic information on what does it take to qualify? Are there any rules? What do I do next? And there's no answers.
Is there any known forum? So let's say you have a local municipal election coming up or the county election coming up. Is there a forum where they can come on and explain their platform or debate their platform with another candidate on camera so that people can see what they're really about and how they answer questions and where they really stand on issues?
I would hope so. It's like that in other counties. I haven't seen it here because I haven't went through an election cycle here, but usually there'll be groups such as the League of Women Voters or the Institute for, Young People in Politics or the Young Republicans or something that host these kind of debates, like political nonprofit or community groups, or like the Rotary, American Legion, things like that, that'll host a little debate. Even churches will do it sometimes. So I don't know if that's actually going on. They can. And the question is, there's no requirement for a candidate to show up. If they don't want to debate because he's been the mayor for 30 years and he's like, I'm not trying to get out there and debate, they're probably not going to show up because what advantage do they have showing up? Nothing. They're just going to get called out and it's going to give them flack they probably don't need. So they have no incentive to show up to debates like that with challengers. If you're someone who's thinking about running for local office here in Baldwin County and you don't know where to start and you think you need help, please reach out to me. I would seriously love to help you. I have a mission to help flip some of these seats that have been stuck for decades. We need new people. We need new ideas. And the only way we're ever going to see real change is for people like you to step up. And don't feel alone. There are people out there that can help you. If I can't help you, I will point you in the right direction. So please don't hesitate to reach out.